There have always been problems throughout generations in humanity, but one of the most common problems today is a lack of social skills that stems from things like intense social media use and increased levels of isolation. Today, I'm going to teach you all how you can be so charismatic to the point that people cannot stand a second away from you. You'll be so magnetic in your charm that people will always want to be around you. They'll always want to talk to you. They'll overall find you to be a very interesting and alluring person that they will be talking about endlessly. And I have 3 books today that I will be using. One, these two, and The Laws of Human Nature to actually back this up. There are specific parts in each book that I will be mentioning as examples to actually make this a legitimate argument. So charisma is basically having a magnetic appeal when you're talking to people, to have a level of charm, whatever it is, but it can differ for each person. How you are, all of us have different types of personalities, so it's better to accustom our own personalities. But I would say for all of us, there are 4 elements, no matter who you are, no matter how our personality traits are and characteristics we have. And the number one thing is confidence. Self-confidence is so crucial. If you don't have it, you're literally screwed for life. You can walk into any room in any setting and people can sense if you don't have the confidence. They can sense if you don't think that you're worthy of their time. In Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power, he talks about treating yourself like a king or carrying yourself like a king and being royal in your fashion if you want others to treat you like a king, which essentially means that you need to have confidence or you need to carry yourself like you are a worthy person in order for other people to believe you to be worthy of their time. You need to believe in yourself so strongly that other people will have no doubt about dealing with you and being around you. If you even hesitate for a split second, people can sense that. It'll either come out through your gestures, maybe your voice cracks a little bit, you're shivering a little bit, you're kind of shaky, you're jittery, whatever it is, you're lacking eye contact. You need to dial it down with all of those things. You have to work on your gestures, whether you're sitting up straight or you're hunched over. You have to make sure you're sitting up straight, you're making eye contact with people. Your voice, you're not kind of like getting all quiet when you're around other people. And at the same time, it doesn't mean that you only work on all these gestures and appear to be confident. You can do all of this. You can make all these grand gestures. But if you don't believe in yourself as a person and as a human being, people can see through that. Because we're human beings. We're social creatures. We have evolved with each other for thousands of years. So if you go out into this world, and even if you act all high and mighty, but deep down you don't think you're worthy of other people's time, people will sense that. And they will respect you. They will lose so much respect for you because of that. And they will not want to be around you. People will always prefer to be with the person who is confident and believes in himself, no matter what their status is or where they are in the social hierarchy in this world. So even if you are at the lowest of the low, if you believe in yourself to be worthy of anybody else's time, people will believe you to be worthy of their time. And as a result, they will deal with you, and you will likely become far more successful than if you had not believed in yourself. Number 2 is genuine interest. This is most obvious in Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's basically about, the whole concept of the book is basically people are they're always more interested in themselves than other people. So when you're talking to other people, if you spend the whole time talking about yourself and half listening to the other person, you will not make any actual good connections. You people are going to feel like you have an ego or that you're always trying to outdo them or outsmart them or make yourself out to be better than them. This is a world of egos, and no matter how much we like to admit it, people will always be interested in themselves more than you. Not because they're cruel or because they're bad people, but because it's human nature. by human nature am more interested in myself because I'm a human being. I have a degree of self-absorption that I'm trying to work on. There are a lot of times I focus a lot more on myself than the other person when I'm talking to them, but it is something that we can still work on. So this book talks of an element of this book is basically appearing genuinely interested in the other person. So that will, and it is something that you can't just develop overnight, just like confidence. It's something where it has to be so genuine that people can sense it. So when you're talking to other people, you have to take the time out of your day to actually listen to them. And when you listen, you can't just half listen and half nod and think about what you're going to say. And that comes in this book, How to Talk to Anyone About Anything, by the author James W. Williams. I think this is arguably one of the best books that I've ever read, in addition to How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it basically teaches you that when you are talking to somebody, it is natural to think about ourselves, how we appear in front of the other person. But one of the best and smartest things you could do is to enter their spirit, which is essentially seeing the world through their eyes, seeing what they're saying and actually thinking about it, picking up on small things that they want to hide or things that reveal things about their character or their viewpoint on life, and giving that to them. If they're a person who seeks adventure, then give that to them. If you have a friend and they appear to be so bored with their lives and they feel like everything is just dull and boring, then give them an adventure. Take them to different places, take them out to different restaurants, to different parties, to different areas where they feel in an enlightened mood, where they're enjoying their lives. This comes from entering their spirit, appearing to be genuinely interested in them, but not just appearing, but actually showing that you're interested, caring about the other person and what they have to say. And it is something that will take so much time and effort. I can't even express it. It's something that I'm still working on to this day, and I think it's something I'm going to have to work on for the rest of my life, because there are so many times I talk to people and I half-ass it and I'm not really listening, and I need to work on that, and it's something that we can all work on. There's very, very few people in the world who genuinely listen to the other person and genuinely try to appeal to their moods or their interests. There's very, very few, a lot fewer than you would think. And if you can become one of the few to be able to actually listen to the other person, not just half-assing it and nodding and thinking about what you're going to say, but if you can actually listen to them and listen to every word they say and see the world through their eyes and give them what they need, then you will become such a magnetic person. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee you that. And if you say that you've tried these things and you haven't actually been making friends, or people don't seem to be interested in you, then it's not working because you're not actually going all in with it. These are things you have to go all in with. You can't say you're going to listen to someone. You can't tell somebody that you love them and not prove yourself. You can't say that you love somebody and not prove that you love them. If you're truly interested in another person, don't just say to them, don't just compliment them, but truly show it. Listen and give them what they need. The third of the four things is to be yourself. Now, Robert Greene has a book. It's one of my favorite books of all time. So he's an author. He talks about things like human psychology and whatnot, the laws of human nature, and it's all about understanding humans, the people around you. There's all these passive-aggressive traits that some people will display here and there. There's different types, there's a million different types of human personalities that you'll deal with, and it's all about understanding them and knowing how to deal with them. And there's one particular chapter which is advancing with a sense of purpose. And it's essentially where you can't live your life living based on what other people want you to do. And it's not all about your purpose, but also in this book, How to Talk to Anyone About Anything, it talks about how you need to develop your why. And all of these things, purpose and your why, correlate with who you are as a person and being yourself. Being yourself is something that is so crucial that, again, people can tell when you're trying to act. People can tell when you're trying too hard to appeal to them. Being charismatic is something, again, that isn't supposed to be a manipulative thing. A lot of people in this world get the wrong idea. We see too many videos where people are giving you all these life hacks to making other people like you, these life hacks to getting girls' numbers and whatnot. You can't listen to that. You have to actually forget all of that. Even sometimes forget what I say. When you're talking to people, it has to be natural, it has to flow. If somebody senses that there's something off or that you are literally trying too hard to make them like you, I can guarantee you it's going to repel them even more than if you just been some random insecure person who wasn't even trying at all. So therefore, you need to be yourself. You have to know what your purpose is in this world, and you always have to advance with a sense of purpose. When you're talking to somebody, there always has to be a focus. You can't just sit there and not listen to them. You have to be yourself. If you are a naturally humorous guy, you can't go out acting all serious when you're with other people. If you're a funny guy, if you're somebody who likes to crack jokes, do find a way to do it where it's not inappropriate and it's not obnoxious, but where people actually like you for who you are and you're naturally expressing yourself. If you find yourself feeling exhausted after social interactions, then it likely means that you're masking who you are as a person and you're spending way too much time acting way too hard to act like some sort of an adult or a serious person that you're not. So therefore, you have to find that childlike nature within you to embrace who you actually are as a person and to show it throughout your social interactions. Based on that, people will find you so appealing. People will love to be around you because it reminds them of the feeling they had when they were children and they were carefree. You have to give off that nature that you are a carefree person. If you go out acting all rigid, insecure, worried about how you look, people are just going to be so repelled that they won't want to be around you. So that's the third thing, being yourself. Number 4 is no judgment. Again, this can come out in all these books. Winning Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Basically, seeing things from another person's perspective. There's one chapter about that. Here, there's obviously a chapter about overall listening and understanding them. And here, in Robert Greene's Laws of Human Nature, the second chapter is transforming self-love into empathy. So basically, it's the law of narcissism. A lot of us, we are all more interested in ourselves than other people, and you have to learn to attune yourself and accustom yourselves to the moods of the other person. You actually have to interact with somebody without always having creating this sort of a resistance. People, again, they can tell when you're judging them, and they can tell when you're going halfway in an interaction. When you're talking to people, you have to drop all this resistance, and that is what makes people in turn love being around you. It's what makes them love you as a person. Because you can have all the six-pack abs in the world, you can have a crazy jawline, you can have all that. Sure, it makes your life easier. Obviously, people will sometimes treat you better because of it. But if you have all this resistance and you're judging people, people are still going to be repelled by your character. Your character is so important. So if you're talking to somebody and if you're judging them for the slightest things, if you keep criticizing them, they're naturally going to hate you as a person. They're naturally going to groan whenever you talk. They're not going to want to be around you. So therefore, you have to develop the ability to not judge the other person and to try to understand them. So again, based on these 3 books, How to Talk to Anyone About Everything, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Laws of Human Nature, a million other books, and just based on history, based on my experiences dealing with people and seeing other people talk to each other and seeing how people became successful in developing charisma, these are the 4 key elements to becoming so charismatic, people cannot stand a second away from you. Number 1 is confidence. Number 2 is showing genuine interest in the other person. Number 3 is genuinely being yourself. And number 4 is lowering all resistance and not judging the other person for who they are and what they're telling you. If you can do these, I can guarantee you that you'll become more successful than ever in the social realm.